what contributions did you bring to Centralia College?
Well, I was talking to Don Fry earlier today and kind of talked a little bit about that. And he reminded me that the very first fall quarter that I was here, we got all the faculty and staff together and we did a strategic planning session, like everybody does. But out of that strategic planning session, we came up with a vision, and I think we solidified our mission. And the vision was to be the best community college in the state of Washington, to be a driver in the local economy, and to be the intellectual heart and cultural soul of the community. And I brought that forward the next meeting after we put all this together. And one of the faculty, Diesel faculty, stood up and he said, "What do you mean? We can't be the best community college in the state of Washington. We'll never be bigger than Bellevue. We'll never graduate more students than any other college. We're just a small rural community college. We can't be the best. That's silly." Well, I've lived by that mantra every day since then, and I've said it every day since then. We will be and are the best community college in the state of Washington. And as Don reminded me, people began to believe in that. We began to do things because we believed in ourselves, and we've had some phenomenal things that have happened over that time. I mean, we decided that that we were going to have the most beautiful campus. And if you walk around the grounds today in the springtime, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's absolutely a beautiful place to be. We've got great buildings. Thanks to Steve Ward, we've planned and created some absolutely marvelous buildings on this campus. We graduated, as Arnie was just saying, some phenomenal students. Charlie Albright, my goodness, came to us, we didn't do it to Charlie. Charlie did it with us. He's an absolutely amazing young man, but we've had many, Angela Me, we've had others that have gone on and just done some pretty phenomenal things. And it's because we've stuck to the mantra that actually we had in 1925. We were going to have quality faculty. And at that time, the UW came down and made sure. Now we make sure. We don't let faculty come and teach for us unless they're top quality. So I think continuing that mission of top quality has been extremely important. I also think that facing all the situations that we did, and I've already mentioned all those, so I won't do that again, but facing those situations together and being together and making sure that we took care of our students through all of this. We wanted our troubles, our travails to be transparent to students. We didn't want them to be aware of all the stuff that's going on. We wanted them to get a quality education. And I think you'll find the students that have come through in the last 12 years feel that way. They didn't see our problems, but they certainly got a good quality education because of our folks. And then maybe one of the things that will help transform the college again into the future is we started our first bachelor's degree. For all those years, we had been a 2-year college, and then we decided that we could play with the big boys too. And we hired Larry McGee, who's just done an absolutely phenomenal job of creating a management program that I would put against anywhere. It's just absolutely phenomenal. Now we're starting the diesel program. We'll have a bachelor's, and we will be one of only 4 in the entire nation that offer a bachelor's degree in diesel technology. Pretty cool stuff. So we're already looking to IT, we're looking to medical, we're looking to other areas. Again, we started the change, and hopefully the next person that comes along, or the next few presidents that come along, will continue to make all of those changes, all for the better. But I think just believing in ourselves, I think being the best, believing you can be the best, and always working towards that, that was it. It was fun. That was great.
Nels, what contributions did you bring to the college?
Contributions?
Not money. We don't want to talk about that.
No, get your wallet out.
You shut.
Although, speaking of money, one of the best things and most important things the president does is retain sufficient integrity with legislators, so when you need appropriations, you get adequately appropriated for your college operation. And if the legislature loses confidence in you, they don't take it out on the president, they take it out on how much money they send out to the college. And so Centralia over the years has had maintained pretty high credibility with legislators and has been treated very well both for buildings and for operations. So one of the things that you don't even think is important is one of the most important things of all is the integrity and the reputation you have with legislators in your community and the legislature as a whole, particularly appropriations committees. So those are things you don't even think about, the guy sitting over there in the office or whatever he's doing, but it's maintaining with the community, and it's the community influences legislators too. So if the community doesn't think you're doing a good job, or they just blah about it, I mean, they don't think anything about it, the legislators don't respond as positively to the needs of the college as they do when you're recognized well by the community and by the job you're doing. So, just one measure is how the legislature treats the college as to how good a job the president's doing in the college, in the community, because they live in the community too and hear what's going on.
Okay.
So I think that's very important, and one measure of colleges and presidents is how well they do in relationship to the legislature, both for buildings and for operations. And we've been pretty good, all three of us. Maybe I haven't, but they
Nels
have.
did a phenomenal job in that. Really made a big difference.
Wilma, who was in the legislature, she wouldn't listen to me very often, but I
It's his sister. There's some other ones too. I was thinking of Stu Olson, yeah.
Still would listen anyway.
Hank, your turn.
Contributions to the college. Well, listen, I'd like to introduce you to them. How many trustees do we have that have served as trustees or are? So raise your hand. This is the audience participation. Look at that. Terrific community people. How many have been faculty? How many have taught a course at this institution? Raise those hands with joy and pride. How many of you attended this college? Students. How many sent somebody to this college? How many of you love this college? All right. Well, you can see contributions right here. Thank you all for all you have done. Campus environment to me is important. Now let me just say this business of campus environment is important. How the place looks and how the place works. I took a course at the University of Southern California called The Environment of Higher Education. And that is how a college operates and how it looks and such is really going to impact. It's the total experience at Stanford, at CC, UW. It's the total impact of that experience that's going to make the difference in a student in college. And that has been a guiding principle to me. How does the place look? Like Jim said, one of the first things when we got here, the place was run down, whatever. There was no mall there. It was, anyway. Let's get this going. Let's get it looking like a college and acting like a college. Doing some international programs. Getting things going and tuned in and turned on. And that is really important for a college president to be involved in. We've had the privilege of helping to build some buildings, and that's terrific. And we do appreciate all of you that helped plan those buildings and really made them happy. The library, Washington Hall was a complex building. If you don't know, it's a big building and lots going on here. And our faculty just gathered together with a big piece of paper and tried to figure out how all these things would interact. Some of you remember that. And but we're really pleased with the results. So how the place operates, we developed a master plan. You can see the latest version that we had up here, 2010. But we've had that for some time that's guided our action. And then I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about art, because that was a special passion of mine. You know, we teach art here, art appreciation, and art is important. The place should look good. And we should have some art. Well, there were these murals up in Olympia. And, there was a big problem up there, and people were confused. And we went up to the Senate and looked at Alden Mason's those squiggly kind of things, and a great story behind them. And, they were going to take them down and store them. Can you believe that? Because they didn't fit into a classic building, and I understand. And so some of our legislators, again, like you said, Nels, legislators came behind us and said, Centralia College wants them, let's go ahead with those. Those murals, Did anybody ever notice they're over $1 million worth each set? But anyway, we don't want to talk about that. We just want to say that we like art around here, and so we got those Alden Mason murals and put them up in the Kirk Library. You walk in there, and up in the clear story, you'll see a chief up in Seattle has a story, and you can read all about those. Well, that was the first set. Well, then there were those pesky labors of Hercules. Yes, indeed, the 12 labors of Hercules. Really a great place at the legislature, the House of Representatives. Herculean tasks they're called upon. And so there goes Centralia College again. We'll take another $1 million set of art. And again, I needed the community really bad, and the Board of Trustees. But on the thin ice we slid, and behold, right there they are, happily up. It just so happened, when Steve got this building together, that there was the lunette on either side of and it just fit. It was just how they just happened to fit in. But anyway, they're displayed proudly, and that was just a beginning. Did you notice crosscut? As you look at the library, you'll see that looks like a crosscut of a timber, and with a TV screen in it, and that's by Gerald Tsutakawa, and a very famous bronze worker that depicts Lewis County going historically from timber dependency into the future through technology. That's a terrific one. So what about the murals? This looks sometime as you come in the theater on the floor there at the terrazza. And you'll see this was created by Robert Calvo, which depicts the relationship of us here in Centralia, Lewis County, Washington State, the United States, the world, the universe, infinity. There's a big story there. Well, you see, art's a wonderful thing. How about the reach for the stars guy out here? It gets a little cold sometimes. He's been adorned various ways by pesky students, but nonetheless, there again, we're looking for art, and we really have enjoyed that, and that was created by Jim Stafford, a wonderful guy. It's a memorial to his son, who was a student here at the college, and his life was cut all too short by a very debilitating condition. Well, there are others around. The abstract clay panel, which was created, the glass and mosaic tile, and so on. The point is, don't just teach art, but have some art around and make the place look good. One final contribution is the foundation, Centralia College Foundation. We are proud of you. How many foundation directors do we have here? Right, thanks for all you're doing to raise funds for this. The foundation had just recently been established since I came, and I had served as an executive director of one of these critters in a previous college. So I looked around and said, hey, let's get an annual campaign. Let's get this baby going and raise some money. And the faculty was so encouraged because the community was rallying behind it. Our very first goal was $25,000. Could we, in 1 year, raise $25,000 for this college? Well, when it was over, we raised $60,000. The next year, we had a $100,000 goal, and we met that goal. And our largest single gift during my time was just about $1 million. We've had, and during my tenure, $6 million that had come in. And now, in the 14 years since I retired, look at the numbers that are coming. This is wonderful. And all you have to do is look at those students who are impacted by the funds that have a new life, have a career ahead of them, and you say, it's worth it. Continue to contribute to the Centralia College Foundation. That is a plug.
That's a plug. It's a great plug. There could be a reason why the pillars of Hercules are way up high, though.
Why is that?
Could be.
Is there
It's a little hard to see. You have to kind of look up.
I'll explain them to you.
That's okay. Your time is I do want to add, though, I was privileged to be the foundation president from 2000 to 2002. And when my term started, I believe our investment totals were around $5.5 million, Steve, something like that. Hank was president then. if you remember, during that time, we had a little economic downturn, right? Similar to what we had here a few years ago. Anyway, by the time the dust settled, the college foundation investments were about $3.5 million. And it was because of Hank's leadership that at that time we fired the staff for the foundation. And that's when Steve, with Hank's blessing and leadership, came on board as the interim executive director of the foundation, which now is a permanent job of his, besides all the other stuff that Steve does. Anyway, my point being, without Hank's leadership, the foundation may not have survived at that time because we were really in a tenuous situation and we're kind of struggling what to do. So now, from $3.5 million around that time, now we're at what, about 11 million in investments?
Almost 14.
Almost 14. I've been gone a year, so, you know. Anyway, it just goes to show what you do at the ground floor level and how things work out when everybody pulls together. Anyway, okay.